Thank you so much for joining us. My first question to you is, how has this quarter been operationally for Godrej Properties?
Hi, great to be with you. I think we're quite happy with how the quarter's gone. It's obviously at a macro level been a pretty challenging period for the Indian economy and the overall real estate sector. But I think if we look at it, Godrej Properties sales have actually seen about an 89% year-on-year growth to about 1,440 odd crore. In volumes terms, the growth was even faster with a more than doubling of volumes sold during the quarter. And that was on the back actually of 6 new project launches across 6 different cities, which is the first time in the company's history, and we believe in any Indian developer's history, that 6 different cities have witnessed launches by the same developer in a quarter. And those were Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Calcutta and Ahmedabad, and we're quite excited with the response we saw that allowed us to post those kind of numbers. We've also seen a lot of momentum on the business development side. While we didn't announce any deals during the quarter, we have finalized a large deal, and we've finalized probably the largest number of term sheets in a given quarter, which I think indicates that the second half of the financial year should see very robust project additions. And on the financial side, we saw very robust EBITDA growth, and net profit grew by about 50%.
Right. In the results, we saw that there was a significant increase in your other income. So could you just elaborate more on the components of this other income? How do you calculate it?
Yes, the main change in other income was that we did a QIP in the first quarter of the financial year and raised about 2,000 crore through that. Now, the purpose of that QIP is to invest in new projects to strengthen the development portfolio. Until those projects are signed, those funds have temporarily been parked in mutual funds, and the income from those investments is treated as other income, and that's why you've seen the uptick in other income this quarter.
Right. You have also mentioned that you're actively looking at consolidation given the stress times in the real estate. So far, how has the consolidation helped the company? Are you seeing in terms of sales, how is it?
Yes, well, as I mentioned during the quarter, I think we saw about a 90% growth in value of sales in the second quarter year on year. For the first half of the financial year, I think we had a sales value growth of about 40-odd%. So I think we are seeing good momentum. We clearly have a lot of opportunity to do even more than this, because we still think if we look at it by each of the cities that we're in, that there is significant room to add new projects. Our balance sheet certainly gives us the capacity to add a large number of new projects, particularly post this fundraise that I mentioned we completed in the first quarter. So our hope and expectation is that you'll see a lot of momentum on the business development side in the second half of the financial year, and a lot of momentum on the sales launches side, both in the rest of the year as well as in FY21.
In the consolidation, which model are you keenly looking at? Development management or joint ventures?
I think as the company has scaled and given the kind of climate we're in now, where we think the actual returns available for investments is going to be higher than is usually the case because of some amount of liquidity pressures and stress in the sector, that it does make sense to put some capital to work. So pure development management model projects are not the focus at the moment. We are looking at partnership structures where our share of the project's profit or revenue is quite high, and we might even, for the right opportunities at the right prices, even look at outright purchases of land.
And how do you plan to use your funding platform for capital deployment?
I think we've raised these QIP funds, so Godrej Properties on its balance sheet now has a lot of funds available for investment. In addition to that, we have our real estate private equity business, Godrej Fund Management, and I think at the project level there are considerable opportunities to raise institutional capital through Godrej Fund Management and deploy that alongside Godrej Properties in projects. So both of those opportunities are very much a big focus at the moment.
Right. How do you see this festive season, and when can we see this RK Studio launch and your Omkar project in Bandra?
The festive season, I think, has been reasonable, but I don't think there's been any huge upturn in real estate demand over the past few months. Things continue to be quite sluggish, which of course is creating a lot of the opportunity on the business development side. We're quite excited about the RK Studios launch. We hope to get that done this financial year. We've been working a lot on getting the right design and getting all the regulatory approvals for that project in place. So hopefully we can see that launch at the end of the financial year.
Last question, how many more launches are you planning?
I think we have something like 14 or 15 new projects project or phase launches that we hope to do in the second half of the financial year. Typically, some of them end up getting postponed because of regulatory approval related delays, but we'd hope to execute all of those.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks so much.